I am in Poets' Corner, in the library, in Luton, flicking through a book, talking to Neil, Norman, and Jean. It's about the town, before we were born. But looking at this photograph, I feel that I was there. I can remember just the Americans. Professional ladies and other young women of the town probably thought they were helping with the war effort. In such a way, the Yanks may have thought they had died and gone to heaven. With beer at 4p a pint and American pay at £5 a week, the English soldiers didn't stand a chance. Jean's Cafe in Mill Street was a magnet for US soldiers, both before and after closing time, and was another battleground that kept the military police busy. Upstairs at Jean's in Mill Street, they say it was a hive of sexual activity, and ladies seen going up there were considered to be of easy virtue. With the blackout of street lights and windows, the doorways of shops on dark evenings were the scene of many a tryst.
We'll meet again, don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. And won't you please say hello to the folks that I know?
An elephant is walking from the station towards the traffic lights in Mill Street. The tarmac is wet, reflecting a sky through which the sun is trying to break. Nellie is being led past the palace towards the Empire Cinema in Bury Park Road, that later became the synagogue and is now a mosque. There is a poster on the palace of a beautiful woman with dark hair wearing a transparent dress down to her feet, with golden brown leaves covering her shoulders and a veil thrown back, also down to the ground, studded with yellow stars. Chu Chin Chow is written in huge letters above the Greek columns of the entrance. It says, Anna May Wong, enthralling romance about a slave girl who blindly enslaved her masters. In my reverie, I feel I have no choice but to pay my 3p and go in. Your coffee, sir? I look up and there she is. Anna? I ask. No, I'm Natasha, she says. Natasha? I'm from Pakistan. Write me a love poem. She laughs.
मैं सारी सारी रात न सोना कोई तेरे जैसा यार न होना मेरी बन जा के दे हाँ जाना सोनी अखियां दी गीत न गाना तेरे नाल नाल रह जाना मैं मैनू भूल जाना
That the Empire Cinema, where Nellie the Elephant once walked to promote a film, was used as a synagogue and is now a mosque, is typical of Luton's evolution. Nothing here can expect preferential treatment, as the changing population's immediate needs far outweigh the luxury of nostalgia and the fashion for preserving the historic.
And Bury Park, where the mosque sits, is the epitome of the changing face of Luton. At present, it's synonymous with the town's large Muslim population, somewhere between 25 and 30%. and even now mosques are springing up in the area.
It has its extremists, but it's a million miles away from the no-go area some of the national press enjoy pretending it is. And outside the editorial team of the Daily Mail, it does not go by the moniker of Al-Qaeda Street. In fact, for a long time, and certainly before the July 7 bombings, many of the mosques were holding open days for non-Muslims to learn more about Islam. Luton's detractors have plenty of ammunition to fire at the town. At the very least, it's not particularly attractive. But individual buildings themselves have a magical quality. Born almost as an accident of the ever-evolving population and its "here we are, so let's live with it" pragmatism. And the beauty for me lies in its ability to absorb wave after wave of immigrants. There have been Scots, Irish, Afro-Caribbeans, Asian, African and now Eastern Europeans. In all this mix, it's very easy for a smaller group to go unnoticed. One such group is the Kashmiri Pandit community, who are vastly outnumbered by the Kashmiris from Pakistan that now number somewhere above 30,000. Hidden away down a back street, like some prohibition speakeasy, is the Kashmir Bhavan Centre founded by Dr. Ganju. He is the driving force behind a unique initiative to document the heritage of Kashmir on a website. The aim is to supply Kashmir's global diaspora, particularly the British Kashmiri Pandits, with access to information about their culture.
It was Bodleian Library, Dr. Avison, who recommended us to Heritage Lottery Fund people in Cambridge. And they gave us a funding of about £45,000, provided we, Kashmir Bhavan Centre, also paid 5%.
But the brains behind this project is Surinder Nath Pandita, a researcher from India. Sir Aurel Stein was a friend of his grandfather's, and as a boy, Surinder Nath had heard about a unique collection of manuscripts and pictures from Kashmir the great man had given to Oxford University's Bodleian Library for storage almost 100 years ago. Through funding from the centre, Mr. Pandita was able to access this collection and bring it before the world for the first time. The website also chronicles Sir Aurel Stein's life and work in Kashmir.
Everybody's dancing, so I had to take my chances just to make her mine. Didn't want, but they don't. Intezar hai. Didn't want, but they do.
If the sights of Luton have changed for the worse, only a cynic could say the new sounds haven't got something to offer, and the festivals of the warmer months are prime examples of what the waves of immigrants have brought to the town. To its credit, the Luton Borough Council has supported these events. In March, one of the country's biggest St Patrick's Festival weeks brings toe-tapping from the fiddle and borough as music and traditional dance fill the pubs, clubs and streets. In May, thumping drums and West Indian tunes mingle with the modern beats of the UK's biggest one-day carnival. And in August, the Asian communities get to show what they can offer with the Mela.
I remember the sound of the town hall clock. On a good day, you could hear it a couple of miles away. You still can. The town was full of sounds. The rooks in Lover's Lane, opposite Pope's Meadow. The news vendor on the corner opposite the brewery tap, who did bird whistles while waiting for his next customer. The sirens warning of an impending attack. Tea break time at Vauxhall, announced by a fanfare of trumpets.
The boys watch the girls while the girls watch the boys who watch the girls go by. Eye to eye, they solemnly convene to make this scene, which is the name of the game. Watch a guy word a dame on any street in town. Up and down, and over and across romance's bus.
Then the clock chimes to say that the break was over. In the 50s and 60s, you had to put your hands over your ears when they turned the wind tunnel on at the airport. There was talk of secret missiles. There was the hum of the M1 in the distance. And the chimes of the Westminster clock that sat on our mantelpiece, imitating Big Ben, which I haven't rewound since my parents died.
It's easy to see the impact Vauxhall Factory's closure had on Luton. Tens of thousands of people were employed here, directly or indirectly as suppliers to the car manufacturer, and even now many families are feeling the pinch.
Before Vauxhall, it was the hat business that was Luton's lifeblood. The expanding airport has begun filling the void left behind by its predecessors, but the town needs to move on from its single industry dependency if it is to flourish once again.
Here in Marsh Farm, both the national and the local media have been given a really strong stick to beat Luton with. The poverty-stricken estate was chosen for one of the government's New Deal in the Community packages to help deprived areas in Britain. £50 million was earmarked to help the lives of residents in areas such as health, education, jobs, housing and crime. 6 years in, and £27 million having been spent, few are convinced it's working, and the area remains run down and struggling.
You only have to visit the Purley Shopping Centre to get a sense of the levels of deprivation and decline in the area. The centre is only busy 2 days of the week, Thursdays and Saturdays. The rest of the time it's deathly silent.
Hey, Carmen! Wait, baby, because I've got to meet somebody. Hold on, wait.
Problems here are not unique, yet the recent death of John Henry has put the town back on the defence. The on-duty officer was killed in a one-off attack in the town centre in broad daylight. But sadly, it could have just as easily happened anywhere else in the UK, and people here were just as shocked and outraged as anyone else by the death of the 36-year-old father. But they rallied to show support for the family, and a spontaneous memorial sprung up outside the town hall. Unfortunately, this positive image will probably be hidden beneath the darker clichés that attach themselves to Luton, and it will, no doubt, struggle for many years to live down yet another bad headline.
For you.
I was born there. I grew up there. I buried my parents there. A small crowd had gathered by the war memorial in the town centre to remember P.C. John Henry. He was knifed to death this week, not far from there, up near the Arndale. A woman with a bunch of flowers came towards me and stared into my eyes before moving on. She did not know me. You could almost touch the atmosphere of sadness, of grief, of prayer. It seemed to surround the mourners like a wall. I stepped forward to read a poem that someone had placed there. I felt I was trespassing. A Chinese student walked around us in a circle, filming. I felt I was intruding. I felt as if I had no right to be there. I close my eyes and go back in time to hide and seek in a neighbour's house, to hopscotch and trust in the playground at St. Matthew's, to handstands and milk tops against the wall, and football in the street with an old tin can, to building dams and jumping over the lea, to the smell of the sun and fresh grass on the bowling green, to earwigs and stinging nettles down the bowling alley, to climbing trees and putting Dad's pipe in the snowman's mouth, to walking to school over Pope's Meadow, no matter what the weather, and running until I felt sick, to cigarette cards in the spokes of my bike, and slot machines on Ramsgate Front, to the wall of death in Wardown Park, when drive-by shootings and drive-through McDonald's were a thing of the future.
Everyday words seem to turn into love songs. Give your heart and soul to me, and life will always be la vie en rose. I thought that love was just a word they sang about in songs I heard. It took your kisses to reveal that I was wrong. and love is real. Hold me close and hold me fast. The magic spell you cast. This is La Vie en Rose.